Go over Excel, and I would like you guys to go through the video and please pay close attention to what we talk about. So this video is, this Excel is, the layout is almost the way that we have worked with Microsoft Word. When you open it up, you see your templates here, you see your recent items, pinned items, and shared items on your OneDrive. Here on your left hand side, this is the home tabs, gives you a little quick layout of everything. Here, new, if you want new, open it up through template, or you can use a blank worksheet. For this class purpose, I do not want you to use these templates, but we can, I will go over these templates for you to understand and help you use it, because they are pretty interesting templates. Especially I like the one that's budget, personal budget one. It helps you a lot about understanding your personal budget. Recent documents will give you all recent documents, share documents if they were shared with you, and open up any documents that is either on your OneDrive or sitting on your computer, in this case on my Mac. Okay. And then one thing that is important, that you can add a place. So this is the quick places that have been added. So let's say if you use certain folders or you use OneDrive for Business, you can add those in. Okay. But what I'll do is I'll go to new, and instead of using a template, I'm going to use blank workbook. I'm going to double click on it, and here we go. My blank sheet is started. Excel, when you look at it, it looks a little, it's a lot of things going on here. So, but I don't want you to worry about it. I want you to just focus on few items, okay? First, understand that Excel is built of columns and rows. Columns are represented by letters. So if you see these letters, A, B, and C, these are columns, and rows are represented by numbers. Wherever a column meets a row, that is your cell, okay? Wherever column meets the row, that is a cell. So the name of the column by default will be B3. Column is D. Here it meets row number 6, so it will be D6. In order for me to write anything in here, I'll just go in here, click, and just start typing. D6, this is C3, this is F4, okay? So this is how you type, okay? On the bottom, you will see that it's right here on the bottom, okay? This is sheets. This is the name of the sheet that you're working in. So the document is called workbook, Excel workbook. The reason it is called workbook is because it may have multiple worksheets in it. So this is the first worksheet. If I press the plus sign, it will add another worksheet. Now in this worksheet, if I would like to change the name of this worksheet, I'll either double click on it, okay, and start typing. So I will say student information, or I can do right click and rename. Okay, I just added two names here. Now, I'm going to delete this. In order for me to delete what's written, I just select, hit delete, select, hit delete button, select, and hit delete button. Okay. All right. Now, on the bottom, again, we looked at it on the left-hand side. Now we'll move it on the right-hand side. If you look on the right-hand side, you have different ways to look at your sheet. This is the way that I prefer. But then you have other ways by worksheet on your page layout. So in this case, my page layout is set up to be portrait. If I go to landscape, you will see this will change. I'll go back to my home tab. Right next to it, if you see, there's a page break view. So wherever the page break is happening, it will give it to you. Right now I haven't written anything, so you won't see any page breaks. I'll go back to my my grid view or normal view, and right here is your zoom. So you can zoom in, zoom out. Okay. Let's go to cell A1. Up here, now we're gonna start working on your tabs. In this video, I'm gonna cover your home tab and try to understand and mix things up. In the next video, we'll go over how and start working with some functions and stuff. Okay. This video is more focused on the layout and formatting and stuff. Okay. Now, just like Microsoft Word, first part of this home tab is copy paste. Second is your formatting. Third part is alignment. This is something that is added on. It is how your text appears in a column. Okay, so let's say this is a column right here. If I write X, Y, Z, or I'll write X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. Okay, now in here, if I choose an angle, you see how it goes on an angle? If I go here and choose this way, so there are different ways that I can actually have my text written. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my I'm going to press Control Z to go back here. Now, right underneath is merge and center. What does that mean is it merges different columns as needed, right? Or rows as needed. Now, as you know, that Excel is built off columns and rows. So sometimes you need to merge two columns to make it a heading or something as you feel that is necessary, and examples will come later on. So in this case, let's say if I'm writing first name, last name, email address, and I'll show you what I did here. Email address, and then we'll write school ID and number. Okay, now you saw that and you said, you know, there's nothing else that I'm going to write, so here is going to be the first letter of my ID. So let's say A is going to be here and the numbers are going to be here. Okay, but you said, you know what, I don't want this heading to look like this. I want to merge them together so that they are in the middle, right? So what I'll do is I'll go here and press this. So what it will do is will merge and center that information here. Then I said, you know what, I want letter A to be here, but I want it to be left aligned and this 1000 to be here and this to be right aligned. So now when I'm looking at A1000, A this, now I'm saying, oh, you know what, this is not good because I have to do it one by one. That's tough to, you know, if let's say it's good for 5 or 6, but if you have 1000 record, what are you going to do? So in this case, what I will do is, in order to right align all the words that will appear in column D, I will select column D and I will right align them. Okay, you see that? I press the right align. Same thing I'm going to do here. I want to do left align, so I'll click on E and select left align. Now everything that I write, so this is, let's say, student, and 1002. Okay, now everything that I will write will be aligned. Okay, so we did how this Excel is built. Columns are represented by letters, rows are represented by numbers. You can change, and on the bottom these are sheets. You can add a new sheet by pressing this plus sign. So let's say I do this, I can delete a sheet, right click and delete a sheet. I can rename it by double clicking on it, or I can right click and rename. On the right hand side is the format that I want to see my sheets in, and then zoom in, zoom out. Then alignment, how to align in each cell or how to align the full column or full row. Then you have merge center or merge and center, merge and across and stuff. Okay. Now, right above is wrap text. The wrap text means that if your text is written bigger, how do you want to wrap it in that cell? You want to keep going, or you want to wrap that information? So let's say if I say description, so it's going to be a lot more than just one word. So how do you want to see it? You want to keep going, or you want to wrap it in that cell? Okay. Now, this is wrapping. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say write a few things right here. Right. Okay. Now, if I go wrap, sorry, not margin center, wrap text. See how it wrapped it? It wrapped the text in that column, so it's not flowing. Now, I'm going to go delete this because I don't want to see it that way. Okay. Now, let's go back here to column C. Now, in column C, I wrote email address. But then a problem with the email address is my second S is not clear. So what I want to do is I want to increase the width of this column. In order for me to increase the width of the column, I'm going to go between my cell C and D. This is the line right here. I'm going to click here and go to make it this way. So now I clicked and dragged. So I went here, clicked, held it, and dragged it. Okay. Now I had to do it twice. I went there first and saw, let's go here. I went first, didn't do it full, so I went a little bit more. What if I want to figure out a way where I can just double click on it or do something so that it just makes it as big as it needs to be? So what I'll do is I'll go in the middle and I'll double click right here. Now it makes the size as big as it's supposed to be. Okay. Now I'll go John Doe, Jane Doe, and Irish Doe. Okay. JD at Kane at mcc.edu. JAD at mcc.edu. IR at mcc.edu. Okay. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to say monthly income. See how this one is also going to the next cell. So in order for me to increase the size, I'll go in the middle or double click on it. Okay. Now here I'll say $60,000. I don't know why would I want to do this. Okay. $55,000 and $35,000. All right, now, so far we did pretty easy stuff, okay? Now here, when I went there, I added the $sign myself. When I added the $sign, you see Excel is kind of smart. It knew that it is a currency right here, okay? So let's say if I go here and I say 60,000, it's general. If I go here and change it to currency, it will automatically put a $sign for me. And you also saw that it added a decimal space here. I said, you know what? I don't want no decimal space. So what I can do is I can go on the bottom here and I can increase or reduce the decimal spaces that I have. I can go in here, I can add some decimal spaces. Okay. So in order for me to do it for all of it, I'll select the whole column and add a so I'll have to select it here. So now the reason for it is when I'm looking at this text right here, this is general and this is all my currency. So what I want to do is I want to select the text that is written right here. I can select it by click and drag, or I can press my shift key and control key and press the down arrow key. So what it will do, if you press shift key and press the down arrow key, so it will go only once. You press it again, it will go a second time, third time. Let me do it again. So if you press shift key and down arrow key, it will select 2 items. You press shift key and hold it and press down arrow key again. Now it will select 3. Press shift and down arrow key. It is now selecting 4 items. Too much work. Imagine if we have so many columns. You see, I'm just copy pasting it. So you see so many rows we have. It will take me a long time to do this. Okay. In order to save my time, I'll press shift, command on Mac, or control in Windows computer, press and hold it, and press my down arrow key. Now what will happen, that it will select everything in that column as long as there is no gap. Means if there is nothing written here, so I'll go here, press, right, so there's a gap here. So what it will do is if I press shift, control, boom, so now it will stop where the gap is at. Okay, let's do it again. Press shift and command key and down arrow key. Okay, now what will I do? Simple. Press and shift command and hold it, press it once, press it again. Now it will go to the end. Okay, just remember the shift and command will go and highlight everything until it sees that there's a gap. Okay, now I want to delete something. I highlight it and delete it. Highlight, delete, boom. All right, I hope you guys have no questions so far. We'll move on and we'll do a little bit more on the formatting part of it. Okay, I want to finish up our home, not everything of home tab, but quite a bit of home tab. Okay. These are again currency items that you have. You can use euros and stuff, percentage and other. Now, conditional formatting. Conditional formatting is it's a condition. Means if something is above something, change the color. If, for example, if the monthly income for this person is 50,000, mark it yellow. If it is 60 or more, mark it green. If it is 35 or less, mark it red, right? So now this is an if condition that we have. Now what I will do is, again, this one is my column that I have. So let's, quickly change the color for this so that we know. So I highlighted the whole column the whole row by pressing number 1, and I'm going to change the background here. I went to the background right here, the bucket, and I'm just going to change the background, change the fore color, and make it bold. Okay, now I'm here. Let's go back now. So what I want to do is I'm going to go here and press conditional formatting. Okay, now there are multiple conditional formatting. The thing that I want to do is I want to highlight if something is greater than let's say $60,000. Okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to say format only cells that contains cell value that is greater than. So you see how it's written? So you can go to icon set, you can do 3 colors. That is, we will talk about that in a second, or just classic one. We'll work on classic one for now. Now, is greater than $60,000, and I'm doing it for a purpose because I want you to see something, and I want to mark it green filled with dark green text. Okay, and I'm gonna hit OK. Nothing changed. Some of you might be guessing. So the reason it didn't change is because I said anything that is above $60,000. Means if I go here and put 60,001, it will change it to green. And we'll work on it and I'll show you how to do it differently. Now you go here and for anything that is 55 or less than 55, 55. So what I want to do is if something is between 40,000 and 55,000, I want to mark it yellow. Okay. So let's do this. So now highlight cell. Now I want to say between, right? Because I'm saying between 40,000 and 55,000, right? So, or let's do 50 to $60,000. So between, and I want to do yellow, and I want to say 40,000 to 59,000. Okay. Now when I do this and I hit OK, boom, it changed. Then I want to say that anything that is less than $40,000, I would like to have to make it red. Okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to highlight less than and $40,000. Hit OK. Boom. It is third. Now do. Okay. Now, let's say suddenly you heard that, you know what, you did something wrong and John does not have 60,001. He only makes 39,000. Okay, you did this suddenly. What happened? This is not good because it's supposed to turn red. So the reason that has happened is when I did all the hard work that I was doing and adding my conditional formatting, I added my conditional formatting to this cell. Means, let's check. So I'm going to click here, go here, and I'm going to say manage rules. Do you see this? Only one rule has been applied here. If I go select the other cell, manage rules, now I can see that there's only one rule that is applied to this. This is not good, right? Same thing I have done here, manage rules. Okay. Now what I want to do is I would like to add rules to the whole column, okay, except the first row. So how would I do this? I'm going to select, press shift key, hold it, command key or control key and hold it, arrow. So it will select the whole thing, and then I'm going to select everything that has some kind of numbers in it or text in it, and then press the arrow key again. Now it will select the whole column except the first one. Till 104,000, 1,048,576 rows. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I go back and I add manage rules here. So now if you see that I need to make sure that all of these rules are applied here, okay, to all of these cells. Now, and it is applied in this way. So it will first look at anything that is, you know, 60,000, 40,000, between 40 to 59 and all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to remove these tools. You know what? I'm just going to make it better. So I'm going to remove tool, remove tool, removed. Boom. Okay. I'm going to hit cancel again and show you one more time. Went here, manage rules. I'm just going to remove all these because I don't like them. Okay. So I'm going to press the subtract sign. Boom, boom, boom. 3 times, all of them are gone. I want to add a new rule. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to classic. I'm going to say if format only top or bottom rank values. No, I'm saying format only cells that contain specific text. No, I want to do values that are above or below average, not average. They require duplicate only. Okay, let's go back here. Let's cancel this and hit OK. Okay, now I'm going to go back to conditional formatting, highlight, and I'm going to say greater than, and there are more rules right here. Okay, so format only cells value that is greater than 60,000, and I'm going to mark it green, hit OK. So now this rule has applied to all of the columns, and let's keep adding the things. So let's go between 40,000 and 59,000, and then anything under 40,000, let's mark it red. So less than 40,000, mark it red. Now you see, this one is marked 42 because I must have done something wrong. So let's go to, I highlighted everything because I want to make sure that I don't make changes in that cell. I make changes in every single cell. And that's very important for you to know. Manage rules. And you see between 40 and 50, I have manager rights, put it red too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this and I'm going to click on edit rule. Okay. And now here I'm going to change it to yellow and I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to hit OK. And you will see that it should have changed, but something must have gone wrong. So I manage rules again. 40,000. Less than 40,000, 40,050. Okay, there we go, it changed. So I don't know, something must have went wrong here. Let's go back to 60,000 now. So when I change it, nothing happened. Oh, because it's 61,000. Okay, so boom. Oh, I put an extra zero here. Okay, boom. Now we want to make sure that it's following the same model. So I'm going to go here, add to decimal places too. So if I add a value here, whatever value I add, it will automatically add 2 zeros to it. So now as I keep going, it will mark it this. Now you're saying, if it is empty, then what do I do? It's going to keep marking it red. So that's a little tricky part, but let's see. Okay. So text that contains, okay? So now if I'm saying if it contains nothing, then do something, okay? So if it's empty, then do something. I'm gonna go to custom format and I'm gonna say do nothing. Font to be regular, border to be regular, and hit OK, and hit OK. Now, see, it's still looking for something in there, and that's why it's not going to change. We have to add something, a formula that we'll learn later. It looks for is empty, so it's kind of tricky. We'll take a look at it later when we start doing the little bit more advanced functions. So I'm going to go ahead and actually remove this rule so that it doesn't create any problems for us, and I'm going to hit OK so that we have it. Okay. I hope this is good. This is a lot of information, so make sure you guys pause it whenever you feel that you need to do it. And also another thing that I would ask you guys to do is pause it and do certain things. So follow along. The reason for us doing it this way is all of you are following it at your own pace. So whatever we did so far, everything you should do it while I am doing it. Okay? Pause it. Take your time. Get it done. Okay? Now, so I'm going to highlight this. So now, this is selecting a cell. This is selecting two cells. Now, if I select, so you see, when I select, it shows me that I selected John. I'm at Doe, and it gives me cell number B2, A1. Okay? And I'm looking at it right here, right underneath Home tab, and paste. This is a formula bar. Okay? Now, when I select multiple items right here like this is called selecting a range. Okay, this is called selecting a range. Now, the way that we define or we write that we select a range. So if I'm selecting a column, right? So let's say if I would like to have this automatically, whatever I write in this column I would like to be written in cell number A7, I will put equal sign and I will put A2. What I'm doing is I'm saying to this Excel and this cell that I'm giving you a reference of cell A2. What I mean is whatever you put in this cell, just paste it here. Okay, so if I write John here, if I say Muhammad will be posted here, right? So this is a reference to the cell. So how do you give a reference? Equal reference to that's the cell number that you have, the name of the cell you have, okay? Equal, so I want to give a reference to cell C3, so I will say equal C3. So now it will put JAD at MCC at EDU. If I want to give a cell to E3, I'll say equal E3. And then when I change this to, let's say 5, it will automatically change. We'll talk about it, how it is helpful in the next video, but I want you to understand that is how you give the reference. In order for you to give a reference to full range, you say equal E2, 2, and this colon represent 2, E4. Now you see it selected the whole thing, so now it is giving a reference to A2, the cell A2 where it's written Muhammad, to E4. Now nothing, you see how it automatically pastes that whole thing, okay? So now it is covering the whole area. So now if I go here and I say 9, you will see it will change here. From Muhammad, I'll say John again. It will change here too. So I'm giving a reference to A2 to E4, okay? I want you to remember this for the next class or the next video that we will be creating, but this is important for you to understand. Now I'm going to show you a couple of quick things of how to delete and add a column, and then we'll call it a day for this video. Now, in order for me to add a column here, I can be anywhere and I can say insert, and you will see it will say what do you want to insert and where do you want to insert. And when you insert it, what do you want to do? So it says shift down. So because I'm selected a cell, so it is thinking that I'm adding a cell. I said no, and add an entire row, okay, or entire column. If I say entire column, hit OK, boom, you see entire column has been added. If I go here, now if I highlight this and I say insert, then it automatically knows I'm going to say A here, B here. Actually, I should do A, B, and C. Okay. If I go select H and right click and I say insert, it automatically knows that I am doing a column, okay, because I selected a full column. Same thing here. If I go here, right here in the middle, and I say insert, it automatically knows that I'm inserting a row, okay? So this is how you insert it. I want to delete these columns, that A, B, and C that has written, so I'll highlight all 3 of them. I clicked and dragged, okay? And then right click and delete column. I want you to understand there are a few things that, or I can just select this and boom, okay? When I am selecting it, I clicked on it. You see my arrow is this, I click and now select this. Now this is a range that is selected. I deleted this. Now I want you to look at a few of those arrows that we have, and again, we won't do anything today in this video, but in the next video we will be using this. When I select a column or cell, you see the cell has a full box, but then on the bottom left hand side it has a little box, okay? Now, and then arrow changes when I hover over this this box right here. When I hover over this, my column, I don't know why is it not doing it, but you see it's for a very split second it does it. I don't know why is it not doing it, but it turns into a different plus sign. Okay, so there are reasons for it to be changing, and I'm not sure why is it not happening right now, but it has different reasons for changing the sign that we have, the plus sign. Here you go. It shows you here, but so when I select it, you see how This is the plus sign changes to the cross changes to a white cross with a black border. Um, it is just telling you that it is selecting, but then here it changes into I don't know why is it doing crazy things here, and it does it for a second, but then stops. Okay, I guess this is not liking what I'm doing, but that's okay. But I want you to understand that there's some differences between the cursor that turns into at different times, and we will be using it for our next video. So please remember these things, that there are some changes in how to use this box for purposes that different purposes, and we will talk about those purposes in near future. I hope this video helped you guys, and please review this before the start of class today. And I did it in the last minute because of the fact that most of you probably wouldn't have reviewed it throughout the week. Okay, so here we go. I'll see you guys today.